Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be speaking about the e-transformation of emergency care. My name is Ujjwal. I'll start by asking a simple question. How many of you have been to the emergency room? Good. I see. So I've got an audience to relate to. How many of you worked in the emergency room? I've got a set of providers I can relate to as well. So I'm a clinical transformation specialist, whatever that means. I mean, I've been into this field for a year now. Primarily I'm a physician by practice, but been trained in hospital management, medical law, medical informatics. I'm currently working on my PhD thesis in total quality management. So I guess I can get all these things into perspective. So the reason I asked this question was, do you know the problems as far as our emergency services in India are concerned? If you see 20% of all emergency visits related to trauma, we have just 1% of world's vehicles, but we account for 6% of road accidents. One person dies every 6 minutes, and that figure is likely to increase to one person dying every 3 minutes by 2020. We have an economic burden equivalent to 3% of our GDP in actually caring for the emergency needs, and 30% of patients actually die before they even reach a year. And amongst the conventional emergency services, the preventable death range is up to 17%. I mean, these are legitimate figures from the National Institute of Family and Health Welfare. So, but I guess the problem is real. So, we started off thinking of how do we envision a solution? How do we save lives with the best application of technology and best practices in emergency care? To have a fully integrated pre-hospital care module. For those of you who probably understand the difference between hospital and pre-hospital, the majority of emergency care happens before the patient actually reaches the emergency department. Remote access, spelled a little, so you know what I mean. It really has got to go into the remotest nooks and corners of India. Evidence-based clinical decision support systems, where you have mediocre doctors like me who move into IT, and if they happen to be managing emergency departments, you might want to give them some guidelines to work with. If a patient with a head injury comes in, he needs to know that this patient needs to be on phosphatidone. I need to get a CT scan done. So I'll probably demo that to you after a while. Standardized workflows. We have a lot of problems with the medical legal case procedures. I think most of you must have seen Munna Bhai MBBS. You remember the scene when Munna Bhai walks into the hospital for the first time to get his admission, and you've got this guy who, I think there's somebody injured, and he's asked to fill a form, and Munna gets really, pissed off. So I am the Munna Bhai here, and actually I started working with that project, and speaking about reporting, registries, and research, which I think is a crucial need. There is no national trauma registry in India, sad but true. So at any point of time, you want to know how many accidents take place around Safdarjung tomb. Probably you'll have to keep guessing. The thing that we thought about was a nationwide and a statewide dashboard, where suppose I'm the state minister of health, and I get a real-time information on what kind of patients are in what regions, what kind of injuries have occurred on a day-to-day basis, what was the response time, and all these things are definitely possible. And you can have it on a console, which much has been spoken about the cloud, and I'll probably demonstrate that to you also in a while. Integrated emergency call center. We've actually been faced with a lot of mass casualties these days. I have actually been caring in two of those. One was the floods in Bombay, and another was the Bhuj earthquake. And I know how things are. I mean, we were flown by fighter jet, and he landed there with no resources and stuff. And people were running from pillar to post just to find out, where their loved ones were. So, at such instances, one thinks of a facility where I could make a call to a central place, and which has a dashboard which looks at registration information of patients all across the country, and probably even by the color of the clothes worn or the height, the complexion, where we have a lot of unidentified patients. This could, I think, be a savior. So how is all this possible through information and communications technology? The first thing is point of emergency technology, what we spoke about previously, POC, point of care. So that's where our mobile devices and such like come into play. We need a patient tracking application where from minute to minute where the patient is, what is his status. You need something like a triage to be actually exchanged in real time with healthcare providers. Telepresence, evidence-based order sets. Like for instance, you've got a set of orders specific for say chest pain. It says you need to do an ECG within 10 minutes, get cardiac enzymes done, get a troponin. Such order sets makes life much simpler. Obviously CPOE, which is the bedrock of all the 5 rights that Dr. Dinesh so very well spoke about. We spoke about network dashboards, task management, clinician documentation with the help of templates, alarms, alert system interfaces, and what Mr. Mani spoke about, business intelligence through online analytical processing. So you have real-time information on the time taken for patients who go from the door to the CT. So we have an indicator called door to CT, which we monitor stroke patients for. This is how the solution we came up with. It's on the cloud, and this is how we architectured it. You see these elements on top. These are this square box is what actually exists at the client side. The rest of it, all the servers, etc., are on the cloud, which we manage, and it's connected through the internet, HL7 messaging protocol and SMS going bidirectionally. So I'll not get much into this. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly bear with me. It's to do with the platform, I guess. Any idea why this VLC would play? Okay, great. Okay, I'm actually now. So sorry, I close it. Okay, I think I'm signing into this tracker application. So what it does is once I log in, this is the main screen. It takes me to the patient dashboard. This is a color-coded display based on a standard Canadian triage assessment scale. So, you've got the reds. I know this patient with road traffic accident, chest pain, I need to see. This is how I add a patient. The patient is previously registered through the HIS, and this gets integrated with this application. The moment I search for that, I get this patient. All I need to do is enter the patient's the complaint, the main complaint. So we were actually simulating a hereditary case. So I need to put the complaint, the location. I need to put the patient on a bed, and I need to give a source. So once I save this, what happens is if I go to the display board, it just gets added to the display board. And if you can see this, the clock starts ticking there in L minutes. That's the minutes on location. Now I'm going to triage this patient. This is the 5-point scale. I give him a scale of 1, and I give him a provider, a resident, a nurse. So I have task assignment done through simple drop downs. And this again is displayed on a huge LCD screen, which everybody can see, and plus all these dashboards again can be actually integrated to form a centralized dashboard which can exist in another location. So as you can see, I've given it a 1-point acuity, so this is turned red now, and that is where the location minutes actually progress. Now I'm opening up the patient's electronic medical record. This is on CPRS, which is part of World Vista, what is deployed at Max, and this is the application we are working with. This is a section where the patient's problems are. This sheet it's called the cover sheet, and it gives you a pen picture of the patient's history. So at a glance, I know this is where I enter the vitals. These are specifically configured for emergency. I'm preparing an emergency note now. So the moment I press OK, it opens up a template for me, and it gets all the information which is relevant through the integration. So I needn't enter this again and again. So as you can see, ICD-9 coded problems. I'm going to say this is an RTA with, I think he's got an injury the last time I remember, right parietal region, CLW of about 5 to 6 centimeters. So the moment I enter this is the minimum data entry I need to make, and this gets into the patient file, so I can retrieve this information at any time. I'm doing an assessment on the patient's vitals, the pupils, etc. Once I'm done with that, I'd like to start making orders for this patient. Mind you, all of these things are integrated, and this will reach on to the RIS and LIS and all the other applications. So I'm going to be going with the evidence-based guidelines for head injury management, and once I click on that and I say finish, what happens is it opens up an order set for me, what I previously spoke about. So this is like head injury management for dummies. So this is what I'll be using. I know I need to start monitoring the Glasgow Coma scale. I need to get a CT done. So, and I've got guidelines on each thing, like what is the saturation that I need to maintain. Plus, I've got guidelines on the perfect timing for craniotomy. So I can read through those. Once I'm done, it prepares a note. As you can see, just a matter of seconds. And if I choose another note title, I prepare the medical legal case sheet also with information on the patient's NLC number, etc. So I'm going to be signing this note. Once I sign this, an electronic signature gets attached, and this becomes an authenticated record. Now back to the display board. As you can see, about 12 minutes have passed. So I'm going to be disposing this patient. This patient needs to be operated and will be disposed of to the ICU. I've got an ICD-9 code there. The moment I say save, this gets moved from the display board, so I can get the next patient in. The more important parts of it for administrators and managers, probably leaders, are the reports. So if I need to know for a month what has been the activity, so I can just go to the reports tab, punch in a couple of days. So I get the report for say January, the month of January, and I get this whole bunch of information which speaks about where the patient is, how long did it take for him to be seen, how long was it for triage, ICD-9 codes. And this can be exported and again put into cubes. We are using Pentaho, which is an open source BI tool, and from there we prepare real-time dashboards. So as far as configuring this solution is concerned, it's very simple at the front end. I added those colors from this tab. I just go to configure color, and that's where so you can change the acuity scale color codes based on your policy. So that's how the solution. I wanted to keep it brief. Usually this demonstration takes very long because there are a lot of conversations involved in between. So these are the first, like Mr. Gunjan Kumar said, first baby steps. So these are the steps we've taken, and we have now deployed it at one of the Apollo hospitals. We've tried this out. It's working pretty stably, and we're getting this network even move further. And hopefully someday we'll have this working all across India in all the emergency departments, and probably have the holy grail of a nationwide emergency network. So that was it from my side. Thank you.